Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In this video, we're going to be discussing what is data analytics and the 5 things you should know when it comes to data analytics. Right, we live in a world where everyone is talking about the explosion of big data and that data analytics is the new oil. A report by IDC Data Age estimated that there will be 175 zettabytes of data generated by 2025. Currently, we are approximately at 40 zettabytes. All this existing and newly created data will need to be stored and analyzed correctly. Therefore, data analytics is very important right now, and the good thing is that it's only going to get more important as we move on forward. But what is data analytics? So basically, data analytics is the art of taking some raw unstructured data and using it to build models that will help you improve decision making and add some sort of value to organizations or individuals. While going through the process described above, you will be using a set of tools and techniques to be more efficient and effective and automate the majority of these tasks. For example, the process of taking 2 or more raw data files in Excel, bringing them together, joining them, and then transforming them, cleaning them, and then modeling them, and creating some sort of outcome at the back of this is called data analytics. Right, just to give you an example of how data analytics works. So here on this picture here, we have 3 raw data files. So let's say a revenue raw data file in Excel, opportunities raw data file in Excel, and a targets raw data file in Excel. And then we take these 3 different files, we clean them, transform them, we join them together, and then we model them in order to create an outcome. And our outcome is this nice, clean, consolidated table that's telling you if you're going to meet your targets by segment by the end of the year or not, based on your revenue plus your opportunities versus target. Additionally, we have a very nice and clean visualization here. It's a bar chart that is telling us if we're going to hit our targets or not. So they tell exactly the same thing, but for some people, it's just nicer to be able to visualize if you're hitting targets or not. Now, all this process is basically called, is how data analytics works. Because you take some raw data, you do some analytics, and then you have an outcome that adds some sort of value. Now, please note, this is just a small example of data analytics. There is a lot more within data analytics. The second thing you should know when it comes to data analytics is how can data analytics add value. In general, organizations or individuals use data analytics in order to take better and more informed decisions by justifying them with evidence. Some examples now of how can data analytics add value are the following. Organizations can use data analytics to set up some basic KPI reporting. KPI stands for Key Performance Indicators, so they can increase visibility in all aspects of their business. For example, week-on-week revenue performance or daily revenue performance or footfall analysis or traffic analysis or stock analysis, etc., etc. Also, data analytics can help organizations increase their revenue by identifying potential opportunities or underperforming activities. Additionally, organizations can use data analytics in order to improve their operational efficiency by automating all their work or accelerating all their work and minimizing any manual work. Also, another example is that organizations can use data analytics in order to optimize all their marketing campaign, analyzing what works and what doesn't, and then adjusting their campaigns. Another example is that organizations can use real-time analytics in order to increase their response time with their clients, customers, partners, or identifying new trends or new opportunities, which eventually is going to give the organization a competitive edge over their rivals. Lastly, data analytics can help organizations with their future planning by forecasting or predicting the performance of the business going forward. Now, taking a look at all these benefits we've listed here, you can now understand why data analytics is so important to organizations or individuals and why every organization today is pushing towards a data-driven culture. Now, the third thing you should know when it comes to data analytics is the data analytics methodologies. Data analytics can be separated into two methodologies: EDA, exploratory data analysis, and CDA, confirmatory data analysis. In EDA, is basically the process where we're trying to identify patterns and relationships in the data, and CDA is the process where we use statistical methods to determine whether a hypothesis is true or false. Now, the kind of tasks we perform when it comes to EDA is things like aggregating the data in many different ways in order to find patterns, like summing the data, averaging, counting, min, max, etc., etc. Visualizing the data in many different ways by using pie charts, line graphs, bar charts, etc., etc. Again, to identify patterns, checking the distribution of the data, checking for missing values, duplicate values, or incomplete data sets, and also filtering or slicing the data in every possible category we have in order to identify any patterns or any relationships in the data sets. EDA is almost like a detective's work where you investigate a case, a data set, in every possible or every different angle in order to get insights. All recurrent daily, weekly, and monthly reporting could be considered EDA, as well as the initial stages of any machine learning project. Right, so this is an example of EDA analysis, so exploratory data analysis. I'm using some dummy data and Jupyter notebooks with Python. So what I'm exploring here is if our items, so I have these items here, if they have any relationship with each other when it comes to our different variables. So I'm checking the distribution. So this line is checking the distribution of the data, and then I'm checking if they have any similar characteristics. So literally, it's just visualizing the data and see if there is anything eye-catching between my products and my variables. Now, CDA is where you will test if your hypothesis formed from your EDA analysis is true or false. CDA utilizes statistical methods like significance, confidence, and inference to challenge any assumptions made from your EDA analysis. Some of the techniques and models that CDA relies on are the following: supervised learning models like linear regression, logistic regression, naive Bayes, support vector machine, decision trees, k-nearest neighbors, etc., etc., and variation analysis, which is basically ANOVA. Now, usually, CDA is used when you're trying to predict something and you need historic data to build a model that predicts the future. Now, the fourth thing you should know when it comes to data analytics is that data analytics can be broken down into quantitative and qualitative analytics. Quantitative analytics involves using numbers or quantifiable variables where they can be measured statistically and compared to each other. Qualitative analytics involves using text, video, audio, images, or interviews in order to understand the concept of non-numeric data and the story within. From my experience, even if you have to do some qualitative analytics, you will still need to find a way to categorize your data and make it comparable with something in order to arrive to conclusions. There are techniques and methods today where you can categorize your text, video, audio, and images in a way so you can apply quantitative analytics on them. The fifth thing you should know when it comes to data analytics is the types. There are 4 types of data analytics, which is the descriptive analytics, diagnostic analytics, predictive analytics, and prescriptive analytics. In descriptive analytics is where you use your data to describe what has happened in a specific period of time. So the daily, weekly, and monthly reports that the analysts run fall into this category as they answer questions like what is the weekly revenue performance, what is the week-on-week footfall performance, or are we ahead versus target, or which category is performing the best, etc., etc. Now, diagnostic analytics is where you're investigating the why. So you're using descriptive analytics where you can see what has happened in a specific period of time to investigate why those things have happened. So for example, you have identified that revenue is up by 20% in descriptive analytics. However, you want to investigate why the revenue is up by 20%. Now we are moving to more diagnostic analytics. So for example, you can investigate whether there is a specific product that is driving that 20% or a specific area, specific manager. So you get the idea here. You investigate why or what has driven that 20% increase. Now, looking at predictive analytics, in this step is where we use historic data to make predictions for the future. You can use statistical methods or rule-based models in order to make those predictions. In this step, you can answer questions like, what will our revenue be by the end of the month or by the end of the year? Will we meet our targets by the end of the year? If yes or not, by how much? What segment is this customer fall into based on his characteristics? Or what is our opportunity value if we increase marketing spend by 5%? So you get the idea. You use historic data to make predictions for the future. Now, looking at the last type of data analytics, which is prescriptive analytics, in this step is where recommendations and suggestions come into place. For example, if you have identified that we are not going to meet our targets by the end of the year, you will have to come up with a course of actions, recommendations, to make sure that we're going to meet our targets by the end of the year. Right. This is the end. I hope you enjoyed this video and gained a solid understanding of what data analytics is and all the concepts surrounding data analytics. If you did enjoy this video, please click that like button and subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions around any of the concepts, please let me know in the comments so I can answer that. Or if you have different views about something I said, please let me know in the comments, as I'm very interested to hear your views. Thank you very much for watching.